These clips feature Arionne Curry, the ex of Martell Holt, trashing him, revealing unsettling details about their tumultuous relationship and even raising questions about Martell's alleged involvement with Destiny, his co-star. Arionne's comments have created a whirlwind of speculation and drama, causing fans to question the truth behind their volatile relationship, the motives of those involved, and whether or not there is more to this story than meets the eye. In the audio, which spans a 3-part series titled Mad Day, Arionne is seen discussing her past with Martell in a way that paints a very different picture than what fans have seen on TV. At first, it might seem like just another instance of reality stars airing their grievances, but the details Arionne reveals about her relationship with Martell and her interactions with other cast members have people wondering if there's more to the story than what has been shown so far. Arionne starts by claiming that she wants the best for Martell because, at the end of the day, she believes he's a good person. However, she then criticizes his actions when it comes to her, claiming that he never really put his best foot forward in their relationship. Arionne points out that if Martell truly cared, he would not have allowed certain things to play out on television. She also mentions that Martell failed to answer Martell's questions when they were asked on the show, leaving Arionne feeling like she was being sidelined. One of the most explosive moments in the audio comes when Arionne talks about Martell's appearance. On Tasha K's platform, he admitted that he had been with Arionne for 2 years, and she says that Martell's comments made her question her own intelligence, even saying, "Am I slow?" Martell's response was that, yes, there were moments when she was slow, but it was part of life, and you learn and do better over time. Arionne is clearly frustrated by Martell's lack of honesty in handling their relationship, especially when it comes to the public eye. Despite all the issues between them, Arionne claims that Martell isn't a bad person, but she is frustrated by the way he downplays their relationship. She also mentions how Martell seems to be focused on his own narrative, and how, in the end, it's always about protecting himself. This aligns with the ongoing narrative on Love and hip-hop that Martell is often seen as a victim of manipulation and betrayal by others, but Arionne claims that the real problem is that Martell isn't being honest with himself about the way he handles situations, especially when it comes to his relationship with her. As the conversation unfolds, Arionne becomes more candid about her feelings toward the children involved, particularly Martell's kids. She talks about how Sugar Mama is really sweet and that she has had positive interactions with her. Despite the drama between her and Martell, she seems to make an effort to be respectful to the kids and emphasizes that she is mature when it comes to dealing with them. The audio comes when Arionne talks about Martell's appearance on Tasha K's platform. He admitted that he had been with Arionne for 2 years, and she says that Martell's comments made her question her own intelligence, even saying, "Am I slow?" Martell's response was that, yes, there were moments when she was slow, but it was part of life, and you learn and do better over time. Arionne is clearly frustrated by Martell's lack of honesty in handling their relationship, especially when it comes to the public eye. Despite all the issues between them, Arionne claims that Martell isn't a bad person, but she is frustrated by the way he downplays their relationship. She also mentions how Martell seems to be focused on his own narrative, and how, in the end, it's always about protecting himself. This aligns with the ongoing narrative on Love and hip-hop that Martell is often seen as a victim of manipulation and betrayal by others. But Arionne claims that the real problem is that Martell isn't being honest with himself about the way he handles situations, especially when it comes to his relationship with her. As the conversation unfolds, Arionne becomes more candid about her feelings toward the children involved, particularly Martell's kids. She talks about how Sugar Mama is really sweet and that she has had positive interactions with her. Despite the drama between her and Martell, she seems to make an effort to be respectful to the kids and emphasizes that she is mature when it comes to dealing with them. However, her frustrations with Melody, Martell's ex-wife, come to the surface as well. Arionne mentions how Melody has tried to portray her negatively to the children, saying things that make her seem like a bad person. At one point, Arionne mentions how she doesn't discuss Melody with the kids and tries to avoid saying anything negative. But the tension is palpable when she makes an offhand comment about how uncomfortable it is to hear Melody talk about her and put her in a negative light. This is clearly an area where Arionne feels misunderstood. She's upset that she is portrayed as the villain while trying to play a positive role in the kids' lives. The situation becomes even more complicated when Arionne talks about her relationship with Martell, revealing that he's often put her in situations where she had to clear things up publicly. Arionne accuses Martell of pushing her to go live on social media to address rumors, especially rumors about him putting his hands on her. She says he forced her to address things like this in public, making her feel uncomfortable. According to Arionne, Martell was more concerned about clearing up his reputation than being there for her emotionally or standing up for her in private. As Arionne discusses the situation further, she reveals that Martell was in contact with her when Destiny, another cast member, allegedly called him crying. Arionne's tone shifts as she asks, "Are you messing with Destiny? Are you effing Destiny?" She seems genuinely concerned by the fact that Martell would take such calls, particularly from Destiny, and wonders why Martell is getting involved with her when he's clearly still dealing with issues surrounding his past relationship with Arionne. The questioning about Destiny raises further suspicions, especially when it's revealed that Arionne is still emotionally invested in Martell. Even though they've broken up numerous times, she admits that she often returns to him despite the drama. It seems as though she can't fully break free from the hold he has on her, and even though she criticizes his behavior, she still hopes for a better future with him. This creates an interesting dynamic, as it shows how complicated relationships can be, especially when feelings and emotions are involved. The audio continues. Arionne goes on to discuss her life in Huntsville. She talks about how, despite the drama, she's comfortable in the city and has found some peace there. She mentions that people approach her in public, often telling her how beautiful she is and taking pictures with her, but she doesn't seem to let the attention get to her head. However, there's also a sense of defensiveness in her voice as she talks about how people talk behind her back on the internet, but are all smiles when they see her face to face. It's clear that Arionne feels like she's been unfairly treated, especially by the people who judge her without knowing her side of the story. In the final moments of the audio, Arionne touches on how she used to believe that she and Martell would end up together, but she's now questioning that belief. Despite all the ups and downs they've experienced, Arionne says that Martell has never stood up for her, and that is a major point of frustration for her. She says that he always wants her to clean up the messes that he's made, but he doesn't return the favor when it comes to her. Arionne's words paint a picture of a relationship that is filled with confusion, frustration, and emotional turbulence. Despite the drama and betrayal, there's still a sense of longing, and it's evident that she's trying to find peace with the situation. But what does this mean for Martell? And what does this reveal about their relationship, both on and off? The screen? In the context of love and hip-hop, it's no surprise that these audio clips have sparked such a reaction. Arionne is clearly frustrated by the way things have played out with Martell and others in her life, but at the same time, she seems to still have deep feelings for him. Her comments about Destiny and her unresolved emotions show how messy things can get when people are in complicated relationships. This series of clips from Anthony Lofty's offers an inside look at the mind of someone who is deeply involved in the drama, but is also attempting to move on and find some level of closures. Always, fans are left to speculate about what's real and what's for show. The question remains, is there more to this story than Arionne is letting on? Will Martell ever be able to clear his name? And what does all of this mean for the future of their relationship and the overall dynamic on love and hip-hop? One thing is for sure, this is just another chapter in the never-ending drama that keeps fans on the edge of their seats. So what do you think? Do you believe Arionne's side of the story? What do you think about her concerns over Martell and Destiny? And how do you feel about the role that bloggers and media play in the relationships of these reality stars? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. As the drama surrounding Arionne Curry, Martell Holt, and the other cast members of Love and Hip Hop continues to unfold, fans are left with more questions than answers. Each new revelation about their complicated relationships only adds fuel to the fire, creating a whirlwind of gossip and speculation. One of the biggest takeaways from these recent audio leaks is the emotional turmoil that Arionne seems to be experiencing. Despite the fact that she criticizes Martell for his behavior, it's clear that she still has deep feelings for him. Her frustration with the public side of their relationship and Martell's role in perpetuating that drama speaks to the larger issues of accountability and transparency that many people face in relationships, especially when they are constantly under the public's eye. The whole situation paints a picture of a person caught between wanting to move on and being emotionally tethered to someone who has caused a great deal of pain. Arionne's confession about how she feels about Martell and his treatment of her reveals an intimate and raw side of her that fans might not have expected. She's torn between her desire for a peaceful life and the constant chaos that Martell's presence in her life brings. It's a classic case of being in a relationship where the person involved wants better, but the person they're with doesn't always show up in the way they need. But beyond the personal issues between Arionne and Martell, these audio clips reveal much more about the dynamics between the Love and Hip Hop cast. The fact that Arionne is questioning Martell's interactions with Destiny opens up a whole new can of worms. If Arionne is concerned about Martell's relationship with Destiny, then it begs the question, what's really going on between them? Destiny has been involved in some of the drama in the show, and her relationship with Martell has been discussed several times on air. Arionne's suspicions now add a new layer to the drama that viewers haven't seen yet. Is there more happening behind the scenes than what's being shown to the public? And what about Martell's own role in all of this? The audio clips reveal a side of him that fans might not be familiar with. While Martell has always been portrayed as a somewhat flawed but charismatic figure on Love and Hip Hop, Arionne's commentary paints him as a man who's playing multiple sides, and perhaps even playing those closest to him. The revelation that he forced Arionne to go live and address rumors in the past shows a level of control that many fans may not have realized existed in their relationship. Martell's actions suggest a sense of manipulation, making Arionne feel like she had to clean up his messes without any support in return. This speaks to a larger issue in toxic relationships, the idea that one partner can push the other to take responsibility for their actions, while never truly being there for them when they need it. It's also important to note how Arionne views her role in Martell's life. She still sees him as someone who needs help. She believes he's a good person, but thinks he's been misguided. This belief that Martell needs help, but is unwilling to help himself, adds a layer of complexity to their relationship. Arionne wants to see him improve, but she doesn't think he's putting in the effort to change his behavior. This idea of trying to fix someone in a relationship is a common theme in toxic dynamics. Arionne's desire for Martell to help himself, while simultaneously acknowledging that he hasn't taken the steps to do so, only deepens the emotional investment she has in the relationship. She feels responsible for Martell's well-being, but it's clear that this responsibility is weighing heavily on her. At the same time, the way Arionne speaks about Melody, Martell's ex-wife, raises some interesting questions about the interpersonal relationships within this cast. Arionne criticizes Melody for allegedly putting her in a bad light with the kids. She's clearly frustrated by the way Melody has portrayed her and wants to set the record straight. Arionne's attempts to distance herself from the negative portrayals in the media reflect the difficulty of navigating these highly public relationships. When everyone is watching, it's hard to get a sense of who people truly are, and the way others perceive you can become the narrative. Arionne's frustration with this public image is evident, as she's tired of people assuming the worst about her. As much as Arionne is trying to move forward in her life, it's clear that the complicated history between her, Martell, and Melody will continue to follow her. The drama isn't just confined to the on-screen narrative, it's seeping into real-life interactions, and the emotional toll it's taking on everyone involved is evident. Arionne's frustration, her sense of betrayal, and her feelings of being misunderstood all point to the larger issue of trying to maintain relationships under the weight of public scrutiny. But it's not just about Arionne. The other members of the cast are equally involved in this web of drama, with each one bringing their own perspective to the situation. The way Arionne speaks about Martell's situation on the show, particularly how she feels the other cast members are just looking out for themselves, sheds light on the dynamics behind the scenes. Martell's actions on Love and Hip Hop have often been scrutinized, and Arionne's revelations about his behavior off-screen paint a clearer picture of how Martell's actions could have been manipulated for the sake of the show's narrative. This raises the question, how much of what we see on reality TV is truly authentic, and how much is influenced by producers and the cast's desire for ratings? With all these revelations coming to light, fans are left to piece together the truth behind the drama. Some believe that Arionne is simply airing out her frustrations, while others think that there's a deeper conspiracy at play. The accusations about Destiny and the tension between Arionne and Martell raise serious questions about what is happening behind the scenes. Is Martell being dishonest with Arionne? Does he have a secret relationship with Destiny? Or is this just another rumor in the world of reality TV drama? The speculation continues to grow, and the more Arionne speaks out, the more questions arise. So, what does this mean for the future of Arionne, Martell, and Melody? Will Arionne and Martell's relationship finally come to an end, or will they continue to be caught in a cycle of breaking up and getting back together? And what role will Melody play in all of this? As we know from Love and Hip Hop, nothing is ever as simple as it seems. Relationships are messy, complicated, and filled with drama, and this situation is no different. One thing is for sure. The drama surrounding Arionne Curry and Martell Holt is far from over. Fans will continue to dissect every new revelation, questioning whether Arionne is telling the truth, or if this is just another piece of the reality TV puzzle. The upcoming season of Love and Hip Hop is bound to be filled with explosive moments, and it seems that Arionne's comments in these leaked audio clips are just the beginning of a much larger story. Only time will tell how this drama plays out. But one thing is certain, the fallout from these audio leaks will continue to impact the relationships of the people involved for a long time to come. What do you think about what Arionne had to say? Do you believe her side of the story, or do you think there's more to the situation? What about her concerns regarding Destiny and Martell's relationship? And what do you make of the way she feels? Martell has used her for his own agenda while avoiding taking responsibility for his actions. Drop your thoughts in the comments below and let's continue this conversation. We want to hear from you.